Hey guys, so today I'll be showing you how to defend and rotate like a Radiant on Split. This map is unique like all other maps of course, but I'm playing Sage just because I want to emphasize the wall and mid, how important it is. Otherwise we're going to be talking about this mostly through the lens of a duelist. So I'm going to go ahead and start by explaining how mid is played, and then I'm going to go to either B or A. And so basically Sage walls this a lot. I'm not actually going to wall it just because yeah, you get the idea. But basically, whenever you're playing mid, there's a few ways you can play this. You can either peek mid as a duelist, so you can peek right here. You can then just walk out mid and hold for market, especially if you're Jett or Reyna, because you have dismiss. And you can even walk all the way up here if you want to go for a really aggressive play. If you do this, make sure that your Sage isn't walling you, so you can just dismiss away. And so otherwise, we can play from B heaven. Now I'm going to show you guys some more passive spots. So this is really passive. You can hold, this isn't that passive. You can hold right here. This is more passive if you're just hiding here. You can't be seen until they walk up to like here and they can see your gun. So we don't really need to worry about playing too aggressive unless we really know we can get the kills and we just want to. So otherwise we can play here. If this is walled, then we can come over to this corner. This corner is pretty risky just because people are prone to clear it pretty often. I'll go ahead and go into B heaven and explain this real quick. So, whenever we're defending, this spot is really strong. People don't usually clear this. So, like, whenever you're running at B heaven, you'd be surprised how many people just kind of go like this. So, some people will clear this. Obviously, the higher ranked you go. But we're talking about, like, probably Diamond Immortal will clear that. Otherwise, obviously, if you play it once, you're gonna probably get cleared after that. Otherwise, we can just kind of sit here and wait, hold like right here, because people do like to walk up here, or we can just hold anywhere here, and this is holding out from here, so you can kind of have a bit of a different spot on them. Other than that, other ways we can play this, you can sit behind this box. It's not really favorable. You can sit right here. This is pretty good actually. Anywhere like right here, you take a fight, and then you can dismiss or dash away. Other than that, we can come over here on rafters. This is good for like Sage players, or if you want to play more passive as a duelist, is fine as well. Just kind of sit right here. People don't usually place their crosshair right there when they come up. I try to most of the time, just because like I know it's a spot. You can also sit on rope. This is kind of awkward though, because like it's just kind of weird to shoot on this, honestly. But you can do that for sure. Other than that, you can sit up here, and that's gonna be about it for male and B heaven. Obviously we can come up here and peek, but we already kind of said that, so we'll get to B in a second. Now I'm gonna go back to mid, go to events. So again, how I like to play events, we can of course peek, we can just hold right here. One thing, this can be spammed, and also this can be spammed, so be careful. This is obviously only if they have like Ares, Op, or Odin. Maybe, no, I think that's about it, but I think this can be spammed by any gun, so be careful about this. Just want to tell you guys, it's not that important, but it is a little important. So you can just hold right here somehow. You can even walk up again, kind of like we said, because you're just looking for the dismiss or the dash, or you can just take the fight back here if you're not a duelist. And also, one of my favorite spots, because this usually gets smoked, I kind of like to sit on this side, somewhere right here. You can sit far back, or you can sit kind of close here. It's kind of just whatever's comfortable to you, as long as you're not like, you know, in vision of the enemies. So other than that, what I like to do is you can sometimes sit right here in vents on this little top box, so you can just jump up without making noise. Sit here and wait, and if they're gonna come rotate two vents, then you can get like two for sure. But personally, the better spot I think for vents is like right here. So basically what happens is people are under here. You guys might have seen me explain this before. People don't clear like this. People are prone to just jump down, and they're basically just jumping right over your head, and you'd be surprised how many times an enemy will do this. It's like literally 90 to 95% of the time. People almost never spot you there. So if you just kind of sit here and wait for like 2 or 3 to drop, and then you can kill them as they're going up the ropes. And then the same thing applies for this corner over here. If for some reason you think they're going to come from ramp to mid, but this is kind of harder to predict. So for that reason, I would normally sit in this one for mid. Other than that, we can go and go over to A, since that's where I'm closer to. So basically, the way I like to play A, I guess we'll start up here. So I like to hold ramps on top of this box. It's really powerful. Again, this is one of those things where people might kind of see you, but they're not gonna have they're more than likely not gonna have their crosshair placed on your head up here. So yeah, that's why I like this spot. You can also sit back here as kind of an alternative, but definitely the superior spot's gonna be on top of the box. So otherwise, we can of course just peek here. I wouldn't suggest peeking. One thing you can do though is peek and then cross to the right, and then kind of just hold like this, because if you can successfully get across here without being spotted, then you're in a very, very good spot. Otherwise, right here is kind of dangerous because people know, people clear this like it's day and night. Like they're always going to be trying to kill you here, so it's going to be a little more unfavorable for you, especially if like 2 or 3 enemies try to kill you. So we're going to want to just hold right here for that reason. Other than that, that's about all for ramps. We can play like right here, but this can be spammed, so be careful. So yeah, but you can just kind of peek from here. Another thing you can do is kind of hold like this on top of this box, because that gives you, again, an angle advantage. You can also just hold from heaven. So moving on to my other favorite spots, what I usually like to do here is we can hold like this if we have like a vandal, if we want to hold a tight angle. Otherwise, I usually come up to like right here. I don't want to play in this corner super tight, but I just kind of play out like this. And I'm basically just waiting for them to run up. And if they run up, I'm going to get a kill, dismiss back to heaven, and hope that they're already up here. Hopefully I have a teammate or a smoke or something, right? But other than that, we can, the powerful thing about this spot right here is we can hold here and we can fight here. So depending on how you position, like, see, if I'm positioned here, they can't see me from ramp, but if I'm positioned here, they can't see me from A main. So yeah, so that's gonna be about it for heaven. So now I'm gonna go and drop. An aggressive play we can do here is kind of just walking up, and we can just kind of peek here, but be careful, people do wait for you right here. So on attack, I personally do this. I'll just kind of sit here and wait to see if someone's gonna push, but again, it is a matter of an aim duel. So if you're on fire this game and you want to just take a fight, just go for the tap EUA. Otherwise, if you walk up here, again, this is going to be kind of like crossing from here to here on ramp. So if we peek here, there's no one, we can just cross to the right, wait for people, and then right here. Basically, the advantage of this spot is they cannot go A unless they come through mid vent or through your spawn. So hopefully, if you can hold this down as long as your team can hold mid and your spawn for you. So if people say that the enemy team's going B at the start of the round and you manage to cross here with no problem, and then the enemy team cuts noise and now they're coming B or coming A and you can hear them. There's like 3 running. You don't want to shoot. You want to just see if they clear you first. And by that I mean you want to see if anyone's looking in your direction. And if no one's looking in your direction, you can wait again, just like we said in vents, and try to kill like 3 as they're running up. And it's going to be really, really strong. So that is the aggressive play. You can also flank, but I'm not really going to explain that. You can just flank sewer, flank mid, try not to make too much noise. Another one of my favorite spots here is right here. This is usually something I play with a shotgun. Also right here is basically the same thing. So obviously these spots are vulnerable to heaven, so if they go up a ramp and then flanky and you don't have anyone to help you, then you might be screwed. So you can also fight right here, right here. Another spot is flower pot. So we just kind of sit here and wait for them to come up, and basically they can't see you, and you can just again kill 2 or 3 of them, and they're more than likely not going to clear you because it feels very awkward to come out here for lower ranked players or just any players in general. You have to clear backside, you have to clear all this, and that leads us to side actually. So this spot right here is a good defensive spot, but this is usually a spot you're going to die in, so if you're going to play this, try to get at least like 2 or 3 kills. In my opinion, a better spot is going to be like right back here. This is going to be really good because people will run up and then, you know, they might get all the way to screens, and some people on different ranks might assume that the all of sight is clear, even though, you know, you're just sitting here waiting. So then maybe the spike starts getting planted and you can catch some other people and then kill the spike planter or something like that. More of a like passive sort of play. So now we can also defend from elbow, like this, and peek either side depending on where they are. You can also just sit and wait elbow. You can also fight from screens. You can fight from either side. Depending, if you're opping, you can probably, I don't really know which side's better, honestly. Probably this side, just because you can make the angle tight. You can also rotate to heaven when you need to. So yeah, now I'm gonna go to B. I believe that was pretty much all of A that I wanted to explain. So of course the aggressive play here is gonna be to just walk up and then peek and take the fight. Again, you'll notice what I do is if there's no one here, I just cross. Instead of sitting in the corner like over here, I'll just sit like right here like this. So this is good, mainly just because, again, when people come into here, they're gonna be looking right here. So by the time they're right here, look how large of a flick they have to hit you. They have to go like this, and I can't even do that consistently. So what are the odds that the enemy will be able to? And if you really want, you can sit here and hide, but this is going to be more than likely for you to die. So I'll just kind of hold, kind of like, at least like this, maybe like this. Either way, it's kind of up to you. So other spots I like to play, if this is smoked, you can get into this corner right here, and you can use like a shorty, because eco rounds, that's very good. Otherwise, what we can do is, there's some good spots here actually. You can sit right here and hold this, or up top and hold it, or you can just sit here and wait, or back here and wait. And if you're Jett, you can updraft. If you're Raze, you can go. Also, if you're Sage, you can wall. But actually, I think we can do that like this. Yeah, so you could just wall like normal and then sit on top of this, because people don't do this wall. That's kind of obvious. So now we have this wall to worry about. Kind of why I didn't want a wall. But my other favorite spot here is going to be right here, backside. So this can be spam, but the likelihood of them killing you perfectly through this, when you play like this, back here, don't play really close to it, just kind of play like out a little bit. You're just kind of waiting for them. The one downside of this spot and this spot over here is heaven. So you have to make sure that you have like a trip heaven or a teammate or something. So we're just kind of sitting here waiting. And usually I don't peek main until I hear noise. I might occasionally jiggle, because if the whole map is silent, you don't know if they're just walking up. But again, if you have a trip or some kind of sentinel utility there, you don't have to worry about it. So just gonna play really patient, really passive here. By the time they start running out, again, you'd be surprised how many times people don't clear the spot, and it's just gonna give you some free kills, and it's gonna give your team a very good chance to win the round. So this is also another good spot right here. Kind of sitting here waiting, and then you can catch someone, maybe the spike planner as well. Another good spot for defending B is up here, kind of just waiting on rafters for the enemies to run out of main. And yeah, so I think that's all that I have in store. Obviously, if you're retaking, you have to fight from spawn like this, but yeah, so hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any guide suggestions or anything to say, just leave it in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Remember to like and subscribe as well.